Welcome back. We're continuing our discussion about the Raleigh United Mutual Aid Hub with Kelly Schrader and Cailin Peterson. And to both of you, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Well, if you don't mind, how about a little background on you so we get to know you? You want to go first? Go ahead.
Sure. My name's Cailin. I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I came to Raleigh in 2017 to go to NC State. And since leaving there, I have been working as an organizer for an environmental nonprofit.
I'm Kelly Schrader. I am an artist in the community. I was born and raised in the South, and I've been in North Carolina for about 4 years now. But I also do have just under a decade of nonprofit experience under my belt that I'm happy to contribute with RUMAH and some other organizations in the area.
So you guys all kind of hooked up. So you obviously have kind of an underlying thing you can relate to. So RUMAH is this event center. And we talked a little bit about that in the first segment, but maybe you could expound on it a little bit. I mean, is it for anybody and everybody? Is it for public use for any event, or is there a criteria?
Yeah, so actually when we first opened the space in summer of 2023, in that about half a year, about 5 months that we were operating, we hosted over 80 events with about 50 different community partners. And those community partners consisted of local nonprofits, mutual aid collectives, educational groups, as well as individuals. So we had local businesses, local small businesses, artists, musicians hosting shows, pop-ups. Anyone in the community can host an event in the space.
Okay, and it's free?
Yep, free or sliding scale. So we don't make anyone pay if they can't afford it, but we obviously appreciate any donations that people can give us. But yeah, also in the 3 months of 2024 this year, we've had over 100 events so far already, with over 2,000 people in attendance in over all of those events.
Wow.
And those have ranged from, as we were talking about, movie screenings, skill shares, music performances, a little bit of everything. We're constantly moving the furniture around to accommodate all kinds of different events. So it's always something different inside. And yeah, we're just trying to accommodate anything that people want to host in our space.
And it's all dependent, of course, on community support, right? So when people come, even if they're not putting the event on themselves, a little coin out of the pocket helps and goes a long way. What is the overall mission? I mean, what is the overall goal of the hub?
Yeah, so the hub acts as a point of connection between residents, individuals, and those groups, local organizations, and unaffiliated collectives of people that are just taking time out of their day trying to make the community that we live in a better place. So the hub serves as kind of a centralized location for people to use. They use it to host events, meetings. There's several groups that use it as storage space, as well as just the facilities that we have to offer, printing and technology and equipment that people are able to use free of cost, or suggested donation if they are able in a position to donate for use of the facilities or for the equipment that we're able to offer. But it's a shared space, and everyone that comes into this space, our windows are filled with flyers from other local orgs, calls for volunteers. So even though you go in this space for one certain event, you might learn about lots of other events that are happening, what initiatives are happening through RUMAH, ways to get involved through RUMAH and the other organizations that are using this space. So it just helps to build awareness, general awareness of what is going on and how to get involved.
Well, I know it's relatively new. What are some of the folks you've had through there, some that you work closely with?
Yeah, we work closely with several different LGBT organizations, different climate activist organizations, food relief organizations, just a wide variety.
We also do work with individuals from the community too. We have an individual that hosts a sewing circle. They just want to sew and they want to find other people that want to sew with them. So small scale groups like that. We also have had individuals such as artists in the community popping up and selling their art, and they don't have to pay a fee to do that. So that's a great resource. And we've also had people like musicians putting together DIY shows, or performers that have never done a show before and they can't book a venue without any experience. They can come to RUMAH and book a venue.
It's really interesting because it sounds like it's a combination of everything. Like if you want to become involved, one of our guests said gentrification, for instance, that might be an issue for you. This is an opportunity. But if you want to get together and start a sewing club or whatever, it really is, I guess then, it doesn't really matter what it is. The overall goal, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to bring people together. correct?
Yeah, the emphasis is community. So if it's
Yeah.
a community-based event that people from the community can benefit from, then we want to make it happen.
How has it been going? I know it's new, but I mean, the idea was there. You guys kind of teamed up. Has it met your expectations? I mean, how are you feeling about it?
It's definitely exceeded my expectations. I mean, the amount of support that we've had from the community is overwhelming. When we go out to other places and other events to talk about what we're trying to do, people support it and they want to see it happen because a space like this has been needed for a long time.
Yeah, I know a lot of times when I start talking to people, they're like, oh, I didn't know something like this existed in Raleigh. And it's because we're new and trying to connect with more people slowly over time.
Yeah, so it only took us 1 year of fundraising to be able to move into the space, and we've just hit the 1 year mark of being in the actual space. So in those 2 years, we've been able to fundraise over $75,000, which the large majority, almost 95% of that fund's coming from individuals in the community, just giving what they can, $5 here, $10 there. So it's been very exciting to see that kind of support from people, especially a lot of the people that give to us. They don't have a lot of money to give, but they think it's worth it to give the $5 that they can every month to help support the mission.
You know, I said it earlier in the show, I always think that's such a better way to go because you have individuals who actually literally care about something. And I think it tends to be more successful. But and you have something called Sustainer Campaign.
We do.
What is that?
Yeah, so when you sign up to donate online, we do have an option to make your donation automatically recurring every month. So $5 a month, $10 a month, $50 a month, if you can afford it. We would always appreciate it. But those monthly sustainers are our bread and butter of how we're able to run the space the way that we do. We're fully volunteer run, so every dollar that we get in a monthly sustainer contribution goes directly to the rent and operating costs of sustaining the space so that it can remain free and low cost and affordable for folks to use.
And I'm sure this is going to be an example for others throughout the state, maybe beyond that. Have you heard from other folks who have said, I love the idea, how did you do it?
Yeah, actually, we get people reaching out to us all the time. There was a group, there was one in New Mexico, there have been several in North Carolina that we've set up calls with to just kind of talk about what we're doing and how we've been able to make it happen. So it's really exciting when someone we have no idea how they know about us reach out to us and say, how did you do that? And we're like, well, it took a lot of work, but it was only able to happen because the community so desperately wants it.
Beautiful. To both of you, thank you. I'm going to get down there. Free space to rent.
Absolutely.
Folks,
come check out one of our events.
you ought to check it out. So, hey, listen, stick around. We got a lot more to talk about. We'll be right back.